Welcome to Rathalos Watch. This is the 30th episode of Should X Monster Return to Monster Hunter Wilds. In this episode, I will be discussing a very aggressive monkey that tends to really piss off a lot of people, Rajang. As always, we'll delve into the monster in greater detail, covering its first appearance, overall reception, memorable aspects, visual design, combat style, and ultimately, whether it should return to Monster Hunter Wilds. We'll explore how Capcom could potentially bring back the monster, whether it should or should not change, what new interactions they could implement, and how the monster could fit into the next generation of Monster Hunter in terms of mechanics and design philosophies. If you've been enjoying this series or want more hardcore coverage of Monster Hunter Wilds, then don't forget to subscribe and also feel free to join our Discord and speculate about Monster Hunter with passionate fellow hunters. Link is in a pinned comment. Without further ado, let's begin. Rajang is classified as a fanged beast and first appeared in Monster Hunter 2 on the PS2 when it first released on February 16th, 2006 in Japan, and later in the USA in Monster Hunter Freedom 2 when it came out on the PSP on August 29th, 2008. In this video, however, I'll be covering Rajang from Monster Hunter World Iceborne since it is his best version to date, with a little bit of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. One thing that's worth noting is that Rajang has made an appearance in every single generation since his introduction in the second generation of Monster Hunter. The only generation he skipped was the third one, so this angry monkey has been around for quite a long time and has been treated like the king that it is. Rajang can be first encountered in the 9-star village quest in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite called Attack of the Rajang in the volcano locale, where you only have to fight one Rajang. However, if you've beaten all the low-rank village quests from the village elder, a quest called The Final Invitation will also unlock. This quest appears to take place in the arena and you have to fight 2 Rajang. However, you only fight the smaller one first and you have a total of 10 minutes before the second larger one shows up. If you manage to slay them, you will get a guaranteed small crown and a guaranteed large silver crown. Rajang can range from the smallest gold crown size of 729.62 centimeters to the largest gold crown size of 1631.2 centimeters. He is weakest to the ice element. He may also appear in a wide variety of locales since he's a nomadic invader. Hunters can break his horns twice and the tail once. So why is Rajang so memorable and why is he in so many games? Well, for one, he earned an infamous reputation in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite during his introduction for being a very difficult monster back in the day. The old gen hitboxes didn't help either. His constant hopping movement and the ability to kick you with his back legs at random was quite hard to deal with. However, if you managed to kill him, then you definitely got an amazing rush of dopamine and also meant that you knew your shit as a hunter. The second generation of Monster Hunter was also the generation where 3 whole new monkeys got introduced to the series, including the fat, stinky, hippo-like Kangalala, melee fighting and ice-breathing Blongonga, and then of course a crazy ape that just goes Super Saiyan and destroys whatever threatens it. Kangalala was the easy fanged beast, Blongonga was the medium difficulty fanged beast, and then Rajang was the you better know your shit and have good reactions fanged beast. On top of that, his visual design and of course the battle itself was just memorable and unique in its own way. With that being said, let's talk about his visual design first before discussing his combat mechanics. Rajang shares a strong resemblance to Blongonga with its ape-like build and similar movements, even incorporating a few of Blongonga's attack patterns. However, there are key differences that set Rajang apart, such as its more muscular physique, large curved horns, and a tufted tail. Unlike Blongonga, Rajang can harness electrical power in its attacks. Its body is black with crimson eyes and golden horns. When angered, the fur on its front turns gold and stands on end, adding to its menacing appearance. In a nutshell, Rajang makes me think of a bull because of his dark coloration and the fact that he has 2 large horns on his head, and his territorial behavior reminded me of a lion for some reason, especially when he turns gold. Fun fact, he also does have other canon nicknames such as Gold Lion and Golden Mane. Now let's discuss why his fight was so difficult and what it entails. This is the most iconic ability that Rajang has. He will open his mouth and let out a massive thunder laser that will do a ton of damage. Believe it or not, this is also the best opening for you when it comes to attacking. You have quite a few seconds to get a charged up swing in with your hammer or greatsword, or you can just do an uppercut if you are feeling a bit unsafe. Another signature move is when he jumps up in the air and spits out a thunderball at you. Your best bet is just pick a direction and keep running. Diving is not necessary here, but if you want to be extra careful, you can. His most annoying move is where he starts to just swing his arms left and right everywhere on the ground, trying to swipe everything away. It has a weird hitbox sometimes and is extremely annoying because it happens quite often, and there are not many openings here either. Actually, there are none. When he goes Super Saiyan, that is his enrage, he attacks a lot faster and is far more aggressive. So now you have to be extra careful and be even more cautious about your openings. On occasion, he may also try to forward lunge at you and grab you with his arm. If he pulls this off, then you are guaranteed to get slammed down by the pinning move if you do not have the flash pods as previously stated. However, if you manage to dodge his grab, then you do have a very small window to inflict damage. As time passes, whether you do damage or not, eventually Rajang's arms will get super red, which will make them rock hard, and if you hit them, you will deal way less damage and your weapons will bounce, and you will only see gray numbers. So the only real opening is either his head or the golden tail tip all the way in the back. On top of this, he does gain a new ability. When he jumps into the air with his glowing red arms, he will then slam down on the ground near you, causing a massive shockwave. This is a devastating attack and will most likely kill you or get you near death. You cannot really outrun it. You have to do a dive dodge while he's up in the air before he lands for the invincibility frames. So make sure you have stamina and your weapon is sheathed. Rajang is an extremely aggressive monster as the fight goes on. His enraged state is honestly a lot more threatening than some of the other monsters. If he hits you once, then there's a very good chance he will end up performing a combo on you until you die. Also, watch out for his charging headbutt because that will hurt a lot. Another move is where he goes up into the air and then throws himself at you like a ball. This move is also easily avoided simply by just picking a direction and running away. It's essentially the same move as the spitting thunderball. This move is not exclusive to his Super Saiyan mode with his glowing red arms. He may also try to perform a full body slam down to the ground on you. This is an easy move to dodge if you go to the sides, and this is also the best time to inflict a ton of damage like a fully charged up hammer, because Rajang's recovery time here is quite slow. So use this as a window of opportunity for your big hits, and it does not matter if he is enraged or not. Last but not least, he also has a dashing spin move where he spins 360 degrees and dashes forward from one side to another, or otherwise known as Beyblade. This one is rather fast and there's a really small telegraph, so you better get your ass out of it quickly. Then there is a variant known as Furious Rajang, who's always Super Saiyan and has access to some new abilities. By default, he's already faster than regular Rajang from the get-go and more aggressive, and his enraged version is even worse. He has an additional new move where he goes up into the air and then spits out 3 lightning strikes onto the ground beneath him. His spin down move is a lot more deadly now. He actually damages you throughout the animation unlike regular Rajang, and will pretty much kill you unless you have a really high health skill. Flash pods can still be used here to escape. Now that we've done discussing Rajang's combat style and visual design, we need to ask if it's worth it for him to return to Monster Wilds. Personally, it would not bother me if he returned, despite the fact that he has been in so many games lately. He did only miss the 3rd generation, but made an entrance in both 4th and 5th generations afterwards. I did hear some complaints from the community that they are a tad tired of the crazy ape, and I can understand their point of view. However, Rajang is pretty much the flagship of fanged beasts, or more specifically, the monkeys. I have a hard time imagining Rajang not existing in the same game as Kongalala. There is also a leak going on around that Blongonga is coming back as well. If that is the case, then it's safe to assume that Capcom will make sure that the famous trio from Monster Hunter Freedom Unite will return in their full new visual glory and tech in Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, whether Rajang will be in the base game or not is a different question. Assuming that Rajang returns, I believe that he has many ways that he could shine in Monster Hunter Wilds with a whole ecology system. First, you just know he will get into fights with other monkeys and monsters. I really wonder what his interaction will be like with Kongalala and if there is a turf war between them or not. Let's hope that Kongalala farts in his face to get him to leave. That'd be amazing and hilarious to watch. As a matter of fact, Rajang rips off and eats Kirin's horn during the turf war in Monster Hunter World Iceborne and gets immediately enraged for a short time, which is a very interesting ecological interaction. More things like this in Monster Hunter Wilds would be awesome to see. Do you fellow hunters believe that Rajang is a good fit and deserves to return to Monster Hunter Wilds? Or would you rather see something completely fresh and new? How do you see him interacting with other monsters? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and tell me which monsters you'd like me to cover in future episodes. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe with notifications turned on. Peace out and happy hunting.